My name is Misaki, and I'm a part-time homemaker living with my husband, Daiki. We've been married for 2 years now, and Tada! Tonight's dinner is a tempura platter.
Oh, tempura. Wait, Misaki. Could it be that these vegetables in the platter are?
Exactly. They're the veggies we grew in our home garden.
I knew it. They've grown so well, and now they're gracing our dinner table. It's been months since we bought those seedlings, and all the hard work we put into growing them has paid off.
Hee hee, they grew strong and proud, braving both the rain and the wind. I had a little taste earlier, and the sweet potato tempura was so sweet.
What? You tasted them before me? That's unfair, Misaki. All right, I'm digging in too. Let's see. Itadakimasu. Delicious. The vegetables are tasty, but this crispy texture. Misaki chef, your cooking skills are truly remarkable.
Even after our marriage, Daiki continues to praise my cooking. We live a happy, loving life without any arguments. Every day feels blissful. However, there is one thing that's been troubling me.
Oh, Misaki, you're planning to keep working even after getting married.
Yes, it's a fulfilling job, and Daiki said he supports me in continuing it.
What are you talking about? Daiki is our eldest son. Eventually, he'll take over our family farm. We'll need you to work alongside him when that time comes.
That's right. If your husband is inheriting the family business, and you're out working elsewhere, people will laugh at you for being a neglectful wife.
Please, both of you, calm down. Misaki and I have already discussed and decided on this together.
But Daiki, it's unacceptable to spoil your wife like that, indulging her whims even before marriage.
Exactly. She needs to understand what it means to carry out her responsibilities as a wife.
When we first got married, my in-laws fully intended for Daiki to take over the family farm, and they expected me to help out too. Thanks to Daiki's efforts to persuade them, they begrudgingly agreed to let me continue my current job. However, since then, I haven't been able to get along well with them. For Daiki's sake, we decided to live in a house near the family farm to make it easier for him to work, but…
Misaki, I'm hungry. Let's have lunch.
I'm going to borrow your shower, okay? I worked up a sweat after all that work.
Excuse me. I'm in the middle of work right now.
Work, it's just remote work, you can do it anytime, right? Take care of this first.
One day, Daiki's younger sister, Kamiko, also showed up at our house. Although we had rented this house for Daiki's convenience, it turned out to be just as convenient for his family. They would often barge in and make themselves at home as they pleased. Daiki did try to address this with his family, but they never took his concerns seriously. Then one day…
What? A foreign assignment? Misaki, what are you suddenly talking about?
Exactly. Have you forgotten you were Daiki's wife? Leaving your husband behind to go abroad, what's the meaning of this?
But I've already consulted with Daiki, and we've thoroughly discussed it.
Just because you discussed it doesn't mean it's okay. People in the neighborhood are already gossiping about how you're always cooped up working from home. They're laughing, saying you are a wife who doesn't even help with her husband's work.
Ugh. Even if you say that.
Hey, Mom, Dad, you're making Misaki uncomfortable. We discussed this before we even got married. Besides, I want to support Misaki's career. This is a great opportunity for her to shine abroad.
Abroad? It's probably someplace nobody has even heard of, right?
What are you talking about? Misaki has been studying French really hard for this. No matter where it is, I want to support her dreams.
What? French? That's amazing. I suppose I could support her too.
Wait a minute, Kamiko. Don't just say whatever you want.
Come on. It's not like Misaki's helping out with the farm anyway. Honestly, it's better if she just hurries up and goes abroad.
What's gotten into Kamiko? At this rate, she might actually go.
Relax. Think about it for a second. This means we could get famous sweets or luxury brands for free, you know.
Oh, that does sound appealing.
Plus, a trip to France might not be just a dream anymore. We could have Misaki take care of everything for us over there.
Ha, as expected of Gamiko. Clever thinking.
So good luck with your overseas assignment, Misaki.
Thanks to Daiki's heartfelt words, my in-laws, who had initially opposed my overseas assignment, finally agreed with a smile. I moved overseas for my assignment, and after some time had passed. Daiki, you must be exhausted from the long trip. Was it tiring, coming overseas for the first time?
Not at all. I rested plenty on the plane. so I'm totally fine. Besides, the moment I saw you, all my fatigue just disappeared.
Hee hee, Daiki, you're so sweet. I'm really happy to see you too.
We've only been talking for calls and messages until now, but here you are, right in front of me. Just that makes me feel incredibly happy.
I feel the same. It's such a joy to be able to talk to you face to face like this. All right. Since I have the day off, I'll show you around some great tourist spots. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hello?
Misaki, it's been a while. How have you been?
Oh, Mother, it's been a while. I'm doing well, thank you.
Daiki must have arrived by now, right?
Yes, we just met up a little while ago.
Oh, that's perfect timing. We just arrived as well.
Wait, just arrived? What do you mean?
Surprise. Guess what? We've just landed in Paris.
Paris? Mother, are you all in Paris right now?
That's right. It was quite a long journey, and just sitting on the plane was tiring.
But the air in Paris is amazing. So, where are you two right now? We've just landed and have no idea where to go.
Oh, and by the way, we didn't book a hotel because we figured we'd stay with you. So come pick us up quickly, would you?
After we drop off our luggage at your place, we'd love for you to guide us around Paris for sightseeing.
I could hear the excited voices of my in-laws over the phone. Since the call was on speaker, Daiki could also hear the conversation, and he looked less than thrilled. Realizing that they had made a huge misunderstanding, I decided to clear things up for them. It seems like everyone has been misunderstanding something this whole time. We're not in Paris.
Oh, don't be silly. Misunderstanding. Then where are you, Misaki?
Where Daiki and I are right now? Well, we're in Canada.
Canada? Wait, not Paris.
That's right. Oh, by the way, do you know where Canada is? It's not in France. It's up north of the United States. So, if you're really in France, it's absolutely impossible for us to come pick you up right now. My calm explanation left my in-laws in silence. Worried they hadn't understood, I tried calling out to them a few times, but there was no response. Just as I started to feel uneasy, a deafening yell suddenly erupted from the other end of the call.
What? Misaki, what do you mean you're in Canada?
Exactly. You said you were studying French. When someone mentions French, anyone would assume it means Paris.
Ugh. Well, I suppose that's understandable, but I never said I was going to Paris, not even once. If anything, you're the ones who assumed it and got carried away.
Well, even so, you could have at least told us your destination properly.
That's right. As a wife, shouldn't you have the decency to share such basic information?
Basic information? You were the ones who got all excited on your own, weren't you? Besides, you've never really listened to what I've been saying, have you?
Wait, Misaki, what are you saying? What do you mean you can't come pick us up right away?
The rushed and panicked voices of my mother-in-law and Kamiko filled the phone. I could tell from their tone that they were flustered. My father-in-law, still not understanding the situation, was now being hastily filled in by my mother-in-law. Finally grasping the situation, he began speaking in an angry tone.
Hey, Misaki, what do you mean you're in Canada? You said your assignment was in France.
Oh no, father, were you also under that misunderstanding? This happened because you always insist on your own opinions and don't listen to what others are saying.
Don't give me excuses.
Exactly. You said you were learning French, so why are you in America's neighborhood? If it's America, English should be enough.
That's true, you can communicate in English. But Canada has two official languages, English and French. At my workplace, there are people from all sorts of backgrounds. So, to ensure I could handle any situation, I studied French as well.
This is just terrible. That means we have no one to rely on now.
Unbelievable. Misaki, you're so unfair.
Well, even if you say that, I've only ever answered the questions I was asked. The misunderstanding was on your end, wasn't it? My in-laws seemed to finally grasp the gravity of the situation. While they initially directed their frustration at me, their voices on the phone gradually grew more uneasy, making their distress obvious. Daiki is such a wonderful husband because he always listens carefully to what I say. That's why he came all the way to Canada to see me. Right, Daiki?
That's right. I even told Mom and Dad clearly that I was going to Canada to visit Misaki. But you all seemed like you were only half listening when I told you.
What? Then what are we supposed to do now?
We were planning to stay at Misaki's place, so we didn't prepare for hotel costs or anything, and we can't even speak French.
Not my problem. You misunderstood on your own, so you'll need to figure it out yourselves. I firmly addressed my in-laws, whose voices over the phone carried a sense of despair and frustration amidst the bustling airport noise. However, my words seemed to strike a nerve, and they responded sharply.
Excuse me, but what's with that tone when talking to your husband's family? You should be more concerned about us.
Exactly. When your overseas assignment is over and you return, you'd better prepare yourself. I'll make sure to train you even more strictly as a proper wife.
Sorry to interrupt while you're getting all worked up, but who said I'd be coming back?
Of course you'll come back. You're Daki's wife, the wife of our eldest son. Your duty is to support Daki, who will eventually take over the family business.
Huh? Could it be that you haven't heard the full story from Daiki? Daiki and I talked about this thoroughly, and we decided on everything, including this trip. I even asked him to relay my regards to all of you since I couldn't say it in person.
Sorry, Misaki. I did tell them, but they didn't seem to listen at all. That's why I left the letter at the house with the trip schedule and details, but judging by this conversation, they probably didn't even catch the part where I said I was leaving a letter.
What are you trying to say, Daki? What do you mean by this?
The sound of my father-in-law's agitated breathing came through the phone, accompanied by my mother-in-law's suspicious voice. Daiki and I exchanged glances, both realizing where this conversation was heading. Daiki explained everything clearly to you all before leaving Japan.
So what? What's your point?
Look, if you think I came here just to visit Misaki, you're wrong. I'm not going back to Japan anymore.
What? You went to see Misaki, didn't you?
So you really weren't listening. I tried explaining many times, but you start drinking or just talk about yourselves instead.
But what about us? Daki, you're supposed to take over the family business, aren't you? You can just decide not to come back.
That's right. You're the eldest son. It's your duty to inherit the family business. Come back immediately.
What are you talking about? I'm not your only child.
Wait, what? You don't mean me? I can't do that. That would ruin my social life.
Oh, you've had plenty of fun so far, haven't you? Do you think I don't know?
What are you talking about? I've been working too, you know?
Sure, if you call constantly sneaking off and making excuses working. And let's not forget how you always barge into our house, dumping everything on Misaki without a second thought.
That was just because your house was nearby, so I stopped by to take a little break.
Oh, a little break, huh? Funny how those breaks turned into hours where you never came back.
Daiki pointed out their expectations sharply, silencing Gamiko. However, my in-laws, unwilling to accept the situation, tried to convince Daiki to reconsider.
Even so, you know we can't manage without a man's help. We just bought the latest farming equipment, and we need to earn more to cover the costs.
Exactly. Without you, Daki, we won't have enough manpower. Eventually, Misaki will need to help out as well. It's inevitable.
I knew it. You never gave up on the idea of forcing Misaki to quit her job and help out on the farm, did you?
Of course not. It's natural for a wife to assist in her husband's family business.
It might be natural for you, but it has nothing to do with us. As I've said many times, Daiki and I discussed this together and made our decision.
Misaki is absolutely right. Besides, I have no intention of taking over the family business.
Despite our rebuttals, my in-laws refused to listen, insisting on their position. Daiki let out a long, deep sigh and then,
If you can understand even after all this, I've had enough. Dad, you leave all the farm work to me and don't put in any real effort. Mom, you and Gomiko constantly burden Misaki while barely taking anything seriously yourselves. I can't keep doing this with a family like that. I'm cutting ties.
Stop joking around.
That's right. Cutting ties is outrageous.
No, I've made up my mind. I'm staying here with Misaki. Oh, and by the way, I've already found a job here.
For the record, my overseas assignment still has a long way to go, so I won't be returning to Japan anytime soon. I'll be enjoying a happy overseas life with Daiki.
No, Daki, please reconsider.
Exactly. Or at least come and pick us up first. None of us can speak French here.
Daki, if you're not here, what will happen to the farm? Come back.
From now on, You can work it out with Gomiko as the center of the team. Good luck. Now then, Misaki and I are off to explore Canada.
If worst comes to worst, try your best with gestures and body language. Enjoy your Paris trip. Goodbye. After hanging up the phone on my panicked in-laws, Daiki and I fully enjoyed our time exploring Canada and celebrating our reunion. As promised, Daiki started his new job in agriculture here and has been working hard every day. As for my in-laws, having relied so heavily on Daiki, their crops became unsellable without his expertise. The flashy new farming equipment they had purchased remained unused, while the debt for it kept piling up. With no sales from their crops and rising expenses, their financial troubles deepened. Despite the father-in-law's efforts to save the farm, he couldn't manage without Daiki's support. In the end, they were forced to shut down the family farming business. Now, both my mother-in-law and Kamiko, who had avoided hard work for so long, have had to take up jobs to pay off the mounting debts. Their once comfortable lives are now overshadowed by the struggle to keep up with loan repayments. As for us,
Thank you for the meal. Misaki, your cooking is amazing as always.
hee, thank you, Daiki. We've both gotten pretty used to life here, haven't we?
Yay, at first, the different food and lifestyle were a bit overwhelming, but I've adjusted now. And it's all thanks to you, Misaki.
Me? Did I do something special?
You were here with me, weren't you? Facing the language barriers and cultural differences. Having only lived in Japan, there were so many challenges for me. But every time, you gave me advice and encouragement.
Oh, come on, that's just natural. You're my beloved husband. Of course, I want to support you when things get tough.
That's it. That support meant the world to me. I'm so glad you're my wife, Misaki. Let's keep walking this journey together.
Of course. I'm just as happy that you're my husband, Daiki. Let's stay together forever. Today was a rare occasion when both Daiki and I had the day off, so we spent the whole day on a lovely date. Later that evening, after finishing a relaxing dinner, Daiki suddenly began to talk. It's true that living overseas comes with its challenges. So many things are different from Japan. While I had always dreamed of working abroad and saw the challenges as part of a valuable experience, it must have been a much more difficult decision for Daiki. And yet, here he is, by my side. Not only that, but Daiki told me that being with me makes him happy. Hearing those words filled my heart with warmth and gratitude. As I looked at Daiki's smiling face, I made a quiet vow to myself to cherish each and every day like this, filled with laughter, as we move forward together.
If you enjoyed this video, we'd be thrilled if you subscribed to our channel. Subscribing means you'll receive notifications for new videos, keeping you in the loop with all our latest content. Your support is vital to our growth. Let's enjoy and grow together.